When you think about mathematics, you might think about calculation-based mathematics. It is mathematics in which you have a particular mathematical problem, like for instance, calculating the area of a triangle, and then you have a formula, you apply the formula to the problem and solve the problem by calculating a number. But there is a whole different type of mathematics I would call proof-based mathematics. Proof-based mathematics is a totally different thing. It is about defining mathematical objects, making assertions about these objects, and proving or disproving them based on logic. Welcome to my channel. I'm Andreas, the creator of FPL. FPL stands for Formal Proving Language. It is a private project I have been working on for a couple of years now, and the goal of the project is to create a language, an artificial language, better to say, to express proof-based mathematics independently of any natural language, and also to foster computer-to-human interaction. It is an open source project I've been working since 2021, and the current status of the project is that I have programmed an FPL parser. An FPL parser is a computer program that checks the syntax of the language. I also programmed a language server for Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is a free development environment, and it can be extended by so-called language servers, for instance, to serve as an input device for new programming languages. Of course, FPL is not a programming language. Nevertheless, it is an artificial language, and Visual Studio Code helps me a lot to experiment with the language. And the next step I'm planning for this project is to implement a so-called interpreter. An interpreter is a program which would check not only the syntax of the language, but also the semantics. And to proceed with this step, I need as a prerequisite, I have to verify that FPL at its current stage of its grammar and syntax can indeed express real-world proof-based mathematics. So I decided to create a series of videos in which I want to take you with me on my journey of developing FPL. And in these videos, I will basically try to transcribe real-world publications of proof-based mathematics into FPL. And while doing so, I will also explain why FPL is more efficient than expressing proof-based mathematics using prose text, like for example in English. I invite you to visit my project on GitHub. You will find there the source code of the project, also a PDF document, which I call the high-level design of the language, many examples, and of course contributions are welcome. I would like to open this repository and show it to you. This is the repository. It is public, as I said, and it is also open source. And you have, for instance, you will find here, for instance, the theories written in FPL. These are only examples, but as I said in my series of videos, I will write a lot of such code, and this code will be linked to real-world publications of proof-based mathematics, and I will explain what it is, what this FPL code is really doing. And you can find here also the high-level design document I wrote in 2021. Basically, it documented my research on this topic, where I studied the properties of the language of mathematics, and also referred to another approaches to create artificial languages dealing with proof-based mathematics. And basically, I have identified many features of the proof-based mathematics language, and derived many of requirements for the project. So basically, this document has the basics, provides me with the basics for my projects, and I call it the high-level design document. And also you have here the source code of the project. Here you will find the parser, for instance, which I have wrote in F#. This is the language server. This is programmed in C#, and I have a bunch of unit tests also, and also the extension for Visual Studio Code itself. So when we go back to my slides, let me show you today only how to install Visual Studio Code, how to install FPL, and how to experiment with FPL by yourself. So to do this, you have to install first Visual Studio Code. It is a free development environment you can download from this homepage here, and it is available also not only for Windows, where I am working on, but also for Mac OS or Linux. It doesn't matter in which version and platform you are working with, which platform and you are working at your environment, but this is the first step. So you install the Visual Studio Code, download it, and install it. And once you have downloaded it, you can basically open the source code and start working with FPL. And I wanted to show you how to install the extension I have been talking about. So when you open Visual Studio Code, you will basically see such a window, and you are ready to go. You can create, for example, new files and start working with any programming language you wish. However, we want to start working with FPL. And to do this, you have to install a so-called extension. And you have to go to the extension button and then type FPL. And then you will find all the extensions whose name starts with FPL. And then this is the extension of which I mean. And this extension provides you with many features. For instance, syntax highlighting for FPL code, with syntax-driven error diagnostics, syntax-driven code incompletion services, and so forth and so forth. And in order to install it, you have to click this button here. I do not have to do this because my extension is already installed. But after installing the extension, you have to activate it. And I recommend you that you first, to activate it, I recommend you that you view the problems window, which is this menu item here. And problems windows is this part of the screen. And when you go to output, you can see that the language server is running, but it will be running only if you save your file as a file with the extension FPL. So if your file has the extension FPL, then this language server will start, and you will then see, for example, any syntax errors in your code. So basically, the extension is now running, up and running, and we can start writing FPL code here. We have the completion service. For instance, we can insert a new theorem or insert proof, for instance. So there are many different templates you can select here, and whenever you make a syntax error, it will show up here in the problems window. And I will be talking about this extension and using it a lot in the coming videos. So this is all for my first video. I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel, because I will publish more videos on this topic, and I'm really interested in your comments on this. And so if I get your feedback, I can also try to incorporate this feedback in the future development of this language. So, and thank you for your attention for today, and see you later.